The Houston Rockets have parted ways with their head coach, Silas. Is a crazy partnership after a 3-year run. Never really got off, to any kind of start up here in Houston. To be honest with you, in my personal opinion, I believe he was doomed from the start. We all know when he originally took over this team, James Harden was there. It was a huge mess. He inherited a lot of BS, and I just don't think he was the guy at the helm for this position. It's unfortunate that he was even put in here like this, but it is what it is at the end of the day. Steven Silas tonight is just he's going on. Maybe he needs to go sit on somebody's assistant situation, but we have breaking news, man. He's out. This is a crazy situation that has taken place involving this coach. Houston, this young talent that they have with Jalen Green, Porter Jr., they have some decent pieces for the next coach to inherit. But in my humble opinion, Steven Silas knew the writing was on the wall. He knew that he was done. They was happy for the time that they had. I think they was parting way. They knew that this was coming. There was no way he can come back, because it's wild. A lot of people, this is going to float a lot of different ways. It says trash way to fire Steven Silas. Like, did he even make it to the locker room? That's a great question, because he was pretty much fired before the game even started today. They couldn't wait for this game to be over with, and the game is finally concluded, and they fired him. They finally announced it, but it sucks, for him. What coach could take over this team? They just finished, they just wrapped things up. It was 114 to 109. They're going into a rebuild year. They're going to get another top pick. Who knows if they can get the big man, Wembenyama, that could change life for a lot of different people, but it sucks. But this is being reported by everybody. There's going to be a lot of people looking for this job. I'm here to tell you right now, this is from Adrian Wojnarowski. Sources are just breaking as we speak. Among the prominent candidates in the Rockets search will be former Celtics head coach Ime Udoka, Golden State assistant Kenny Atkinson, and former Lakers coach Frank Vogel. If Raptors coach Nick Nurse becomes available, he'll be a serious consideration too. So these are the candidates that will take over for Steven Silas. Steven Silas, obviously, we know, coming from a Hall of Fame father, God rest his soul. Kenny Atkinson, if you're familiar with that name, he was supposed to take the Charlotte Hornets job, but for whatever reason, things didn't come to pass. So I don't know if that's an upgrade or what. Ime Udoka, I think that's a clear upgrade. I'm not sure what Ime will be able to do with this young arsenal of talent, but I do think if Ime is trying to get back into coaching, I don't think he's just going to be able to get into a surefire job. I think he's going to have to take a rebuild upstart situation and try to cultivate it. So I think Ime is going to be seriously considered there. I'm hearing Frank Vogel. Listen, Frank Vogel's time in LA, he did what he needed to do. He won the championship there. In Indiana, he did his thing as well. I think he's an upgrade over Steven Silas. All of these candidates clearly, are an upgrade. Some of them have championships. Some of them have been to the championship. In Udoka's case, Kenny Atkinson, he tasted championship as assistant coach. Frank, Nick Nurse. I mean, listen, that's a great situation as well. I'm hearing that the Raptors could let him go as well. I mean, we'll know more as I think this is the first domino, as we know who's going to be in, who's going to be out, who's going to make it. We're going to find out. There's a lot of things that need to change. There's going to be some shuffling of the deck in some sorts out here in the NBA. But nonetheless, man, Steven Silas is out. That's a crazy situation. Let's look at the Houston Rockets roster for 1 second, man, because like I stated before, they got some pieces here. When you look at, they just had a top pick, just not too long ago, and I forgot the guy's name, but it's crazy because with that situation, they wanted them to get a different player. They was upset that they even got Jabari Smith Jr., but it is what it is. They have to do what they have to do. The roster is going to be okay. They just need to continue to cultivate it. Another number one pick could really do wonders. Add into Green, Zagan. They got Jabari Smith Jr. Obviously Kenyon Martin Jr. Kevin Porter Jr. They have a collection of young assets. Frank Kaminsky. Josh Christopher, Jason Tate. These are some of the guys here on this roster. So they're going to have to build from within. This is the kind of roster that's not just going to pop off, just overnight. It's just really going to have to shake itself out. Things going to have to, we won't know, to be honest with you. But the NBA is headed into the postseason and the play-in. We'll have coverage for the people, so make sure you hit the like button and you subscribe to Flight Sports TV for more news updates and more involved in this situation and more situations that arise. We will be going live as well, so make sure y'all tuned in tonight. We should be live shortly. There's a lot of good basketball coming on tonight. The Los Angeles Lakers are on deck, so make sure y'all tune in. We could be live within the next hour or so. As we conclude, today is the conclusion, the grand finale of sorts, and still positions are still being sorted out. We still don't know everything just yet. We know most of everything, but not everything. And after today, we will know it all. So, but we do know for sure that the Houston Rockets are moving in a different direction. And like I stated before, Silas was doomed from the start. I don't think he truly had a good situation here. That's why you see a lot of coaches picking and choosing their spots, because when he came in, he had to deal with the James Harden ordeal, so, he wasn't embraced from the moment he took the job. So that's why I stated it was going to be a rough, rocky road. And if they didn't hit the draft out the park, and this was a rebuild situation, so I don't know what the organization expected from Silas. I don't think he was going to connect. I think he was brought in to possibly win over James Harden, but he never got that opportunity because Harden wanted nothing to do with him. And James Harden actually quit on him, never really reporting to no meetings, he came into camp out of shape. So he basically was going to be in for it, so thank God that he did what he could do. Now it's time, hopefully he could get a better situation and a restart coming in on a good foundation, because when he came into Houston, it wasn't on a solid foundation. I think we all have to agree with that. But in this business, the coach loses, man. The Rockets never could get off, and the coach has to pay for it. So Stephen Silas is out. The first domino of the offseason is Flight Sports TV. Hit the like button and most definitely hit the subscribe button.